Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Dollywood live stream. We're going to talk all about Dollywood today. I'm Adventurer Dave.
I'm Kris.
I'm Madison.
We have a special Madison on-stream appearance tonight.
Yes.
Wait, and Hershey's here too.
Hershey's running around on her feet.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll make an appearance later. Tonight, we're going to talk about our just ended 3-day trip that Madison and I took at Pigeon Forge in Dollywood. So we spent all 3 days in Dollywood and did some other things too on the side. We're going to talk all about that. But first, I thought I would let Adventurer Kris talk a little bit about our experience at Dollywood and our history at Dollywood.
And welcome everybody for joining the stream. Before I get started, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We actually have a Tennessee playlist, so we do quite a few things in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and Chattanooga.
Yes.
As places we go. So the story for me for Dollywood is, I hate to say it, probably 1998, 1999. And when I moved to Atlanta, I always saw these ads for Dollywood and really wanted to go. And one of my friends came up and visited for like a week, and we took a trip and went to Dollywood and had just a great time. We had a great time. And so that was my first visit. And then after Dave and I got married, our first anniversary, I surprised him with tickets to Dollywood, and we stayed in a chalet somewhere. We had like a Honda Civic, and we had to go up this steep incline to get there. You remember that, Dave?
I do remember that. I didn't know if that Civic was going to make it up that mountain.
That was long before Dollywood themselves had their own cabins, but we stayed in a cabin, and we went to Dollywood for our first anniversary, amongst many other things in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. And then over the years, we vacationed in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, as many families have, and brought these guys. Your guys' first trip was probably 11 years ago, I think, the kids. So we've been many times, and one of my most favorite memories is when you guys were very young. Dean, her brother, who's a little bit older than her, he might be lurking in the background watching. He was doing that ring toss carnival game, and he won an electric guitar. He actually won a real electric guitar, and Dave had to go bring it back to the car, like for real. It wasn't a stuffed animal, it was a musical instrument, and it was awesome. He thought he was so cool with his shades and winning that guitar. That was probably one of my most favorite memories from Dollywood. We've been several times. Yeah.
Well, great. So this time, Madison and I went for pass holder preview day. So I had a pass, and we decided to invest in a pass for Miss Madison here. So we were able to go on pass holder preview day, which is obviously, just like it says, the public is not allowed in unless you have a pass. And if you have a pass, you also had to make a reservation. So we went that Friday, last Friday. First day was open for pass holders. And Madison, what did you think, and what did you like about Dollywood for that day?
There were a lot more people there than I thought there would be, because it's pass holders, so you would think that there would be less. We got there, and we actually went into Chasing Rainbows, which was fun.
And that was closed last year when you went, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What did you like about Chasing Rainbows?
There was like a dolly there, like she talked to you, like
Dolly was there.
Yeah, Dolly was there.
That's nice that she met you.
Yeah.
A virtual dolly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that before. That was upstairs at her museum. But what else was in the Chasing Rainbows museum?
The coat of many colors, I think that's what it's called.
Yes, the coat of many colors. I'll spare you singing it, but one of Dolly's hits, the actual coat, is in that museum that she wore as a little girl. Her mother made from different coats, hence the many colors. But
so can I ask you guys, how long was the wait to get into her museum?
Not very. Maybe we were the third group in line. And we went right there. We got there pretty much in opening, and I would say less than 10 minutes to get in there. It was socially distanced to get in. Inside, it was limited capacity, but it was self-enforced inside to be socially distanced. But I would say we went in first to kind of avoid the crowd.
I know that was on one of your bucket lists because you couldn't go when you went at Christmas, right?
Right. It wasn't open at Christmas.
And then her bus, was that open?
Her bus was not open, no.
Okay. Keep going, Matt.
So then we went over to Lightning Rod, and it was shut
The story of the weekend almost.
Yes.
almost. So then, where did we go?
After Lightning Rod, I think we headed to the back of the park to the other roller coasters. Hey, vacationers, welcome in podcast. Good to see you.
I'm guessing that's Tom.
Yes.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Good to have you. We saw you guys went to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Just did it a couple days ago for St. Patrick's Day festivities over the weekend. We can't wait to hear about your guys.
And the chat should be on for everybody, not just the mods, Karki. I made sure that option was turned on both ways. So hopefully you shouldn't be having any issues. I see Bloomin' Chiza left a message as we're talking, and they have a couple questions which we're going to get to in just a second. But Madison, you're going to talk about riding the roller coasters?
Yeah.
Remember the Tennessee tornado?
Yeah, we rode the Fire Chaser Express. I think that's what it's called. Or wait, no, Blazing Fury. Sorry. We rode that because it had a really short wait, and that was fun. And then we went over to Tennessee Tornado, and we put our stuff in a locker. And then we rode Wild Eagle as well as the other fire.
The Fire Chaser.
Yeah.
Is that the one that goes high in the air? It's high in the air, and the fire chaser when you go backwards and forwards. Yeah. Look at her. She's like, yeah, I've done that one.
And then what do we do after that?
We ate at Miss Lillian's barbecue place. I don't know what it's
Miss
called.
Lillian's Smokehouse?
Yeah, and that was really good. Well, it was good. We just had to wait a really long time to get food, which took up a couple of hours. And then
Can I pause you for a second there? So Miss Lillian's, it's a dine-in place. It's not quick service, right?
yeah, but it's out. There's a roof over your head, but it's
You sit outside?
Yeah.
And I was asking Daddy this. This is what I wanted to ask. You didn't put your name in. You had to wait in a literal line.
Yeah.
And that line, how long did you wait in that line?
We went
An
in.
hour.
Yeah.
An hour. So there wasn't a sign in, leave your name, and they're going to text you or whatever. You literally had to wait in a line for an hour to be seated at a table to eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it was very crowded. But you like the food. I
The
just want to
food
make
was-
sure.
The food was family style. I think what Kris is getting to, Dollywood doesn't have mobile ordering, so they probably need to turn that out at least on the busier days. For Lillian's Smokehouse, it's one of the main eateries there, which is family style barbecue chicken, smoked sausage, and there was another. If you watch the Dollywood video, we have several now. We just put up, but there's one called Opening Weekend. There's a whole food review on Lillian's Smokehouse, so go check that one out. Kris will put a link up there to that video. But that's kind of our main video. What we did across the 3 days. The question was about best foods. I think one of the folks had cinnamon bread is what they're known for. So I wouldn't leave the park without cinnamon bread, and I would get in line early for that cinnamon bread. And I'm not a big sweets guy, but that is to die for. We've had it in one video already from Christmas, and we're going to do another video on chasing the rainbow, and I'll stick it into that video too next week. But it is a cinnamon loaf, and it is just unbelievable. They make it fresh. There's always a line for the cinnamon bread. I would go earlier in the day. I wouldn't wait till right before we leave the park. They also serve it up front in the bakery, so that's a secret I'm not sure everybody knows. Go up front in the bakery to get it instead of the grist mill in the back of the park. The line may be shorter up front, but most of the food in Dollywood is pretty good. I haven't eaten at every restaurant. Now I think I've eaten at two of the main ones. The hot dog stand, I've not had a hot dog, but they always have a huge line for it too. That's on my list. Dollywood has some of the best theme park food of the parks we've been to, including Disney. So the food is always good there at Dollywood. So it's hard to find a bad meal in my experience. And then
We should show this too, because Madison's taking a drink. So they brought me back What Would Dolly Do mug from this past trip. And the previous trip, hold up the other one. This is more probably a classic mug. So, you know, every morning I think, what would Dolly do? And it'll get me through my day. Classic.
Secret you must know that few people know. I would say I've been enough to know Dollywood's kind of a late arriver park. So I would go, if you want to get the big rides in, I would go early and I would go to Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is sometimes down. It was up and down on Pass Holder Preview Day Friday. Saturday it was down when we went. Sunday it was up, and we finally rode it Sunday. But I would go right to it if you're a roller coaster person. It is unbelievably quick, and there's no doubt one of the top roller coasters in the world, I would say, in my opinion anyway. So cinnamon bread. Another secret is the parking. If you go later in the day, they don't really enforce the parking. So they do have a lot of lots, and they do have a tram. But if you go like 2 or 3 hours in, or the second half of the day, I just pull up and find a spot really close. There probably will be one. So that's another secret. Unlike Disney, they don't really enforce the parking after the park opens. So you could park really close if you're just going after lunch, I would say.
And what would be a favorite food for you guys besides the cinnamon bread, of like food that you've eaten there?
I would say the taffy.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a pound box of taffy we got from the sweet shop. It was $10. It's a pound. It is fresh. I believe they make it there on site. They actually have a taffy machine, but they don't use it anymore. But we brought some back at Christmas. It was delicious. And again, I'm not a big sweet guy, but it's, you know, taffy gets really hard if it's stale. And this was fresh last time, and I'm hoping it is this time. But again, this is a pound of taffy. It was, maybe you can't see it. It was $10, and I do have a gold pass, so it's minus 20%.
Welcome in, Monarch Moments.
Yeah, welcome in.
And Sinister, welcome in too. Asking,
Yes.
We're talking all things Dollywood. These
Yes.
guys just went this past weekend. They spent 3 days in Dollywood, starting with Pass Holder Day, which was kind of like a pre-opening just for pass holders on Friday, and then the grand opening was on Saturday, and they also went Sunday. So they have 3 days of Dolly, and they did some stuff around Pigeon Forge too, which is a great family, that in Gatlinburg, family trips, go-karts galore, Christmas shops, fireworks, whatever you want. It's all right there, right?
The Jurassic Jungle boat.
That's right. These guys, they did. So we have a video. They did finally a mountain coaster, which has been in our list for a long time. So they did that. We have a video we released. And then coming probably tomorrow is the Jurassic Jungle boat, dinosaur boat ride. That is really something that can't be missed. And I see Tom, Vacationers Podcast, talking about moonshine tasting. Yes, I don't think you guys did that this time, right?
No, Madison.
You did it.
That's not for me.
It wasn't for lack of wanting to, but one thing I did notice, there are a lot of breweries and a lot more moonshine. There was one major moonshine place there a couple years ago when we went, but now we stayed at Hampton Inn, kind of behind the main road, and there are breweries back there. I must have drove by 4 or 5 breweries in the 4 miles between my hotel and Dollywood. So that's, the tasting rooms have been quite the pop-up commerce there in Pigeon Forge. There seem to be a lot of them.
And Monarch Moments wants to know if you guys saw Dolly. You saw an virtual projection of her on a TV screen, I guess.
Yeah, we did see the virtual in the Chasing Rainbow Museum, which will have a specific video just for that out next week. Her history of herself and her music in the park. She's in there virtually, kind of like almost, it was like a hologram, if you will. She does come to the park some, according to the locals, but I've never seen her in there. I think the last time that I knew she was there when they opened the Wildwood Grove expansion a couple years ago. But she still comes to the park. In fact, they say that they have a apartment for her too over one of the attractions, kind of like Walt's in Disneyland, which I just recently read. I'm not sure if that's true, but I do hear she comes to the park. I personally haven't seen her there.
And she probably have a lot of bodyguards around her, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So one of the things we tried that was different, that we did an in-park live stream on Saturday. So hit that notification bell. If you like that sort of content, we're happy to do more live streams in the park. especially, where there's cell signal. Obviously, there's some parks like our local Six Flag park. They don't really have good cell signal. So obviously you can't do a stream in there. But with Dollywood, there's pretty good cell signal. So we actually, to be honest, with the lightning rod, once it was down, we just started the stream and took you around the different parts. So go back and watch that. We also did the raft ride. I know, Tom, you asked about the raft ride. Yes, we rode it, and we got wet live on the stream on Saturday. So go back and watch that. It's towards the end of the hour stream, but hopefully you enjoyed that. We enjoyed doing it, and signal was good, and we even had a great live performance by Miss Lillian.
Yeah, she's a gem, Miss Lillian, Dollywood. Dollywood's interesting because I don't know if it gets as much love as it should from a theme park. I think a lot of people like it, but overall, a lot of people cover Disney or Universal. It really is a hidden gem if you don't know about it in the area. It's a lot of fun. It's really a park. You probably could easily spend 2 days there. If you did a 1-day park ticket, you would be hard pressed probably to get everything done, especially with some crowds. Wouldn't you say?
Mm.
And there's shows. It's different. It has a different vibe.
Yeah.
Bluegrass music. A lot of Dolly's family performs there. It's really cool. And how they've adapted in 2020 and 2021 with a lot of open air performances. They did more seating for food.
Yeah.
And things like that. So it's kind of cool to see how they've adapted, and they're doing really well, right? They're at capacity all the time. If you follow them on Facebook or Twitter all the time, they say do the Tennessee Pledge. They're at capacity. When you guys went all weekend, you had reservations and they were full, weren't they?
Yeah, I want to welcome in Amy from AJC Magic TV, and welcome in Two Real Geeks, Danny and Jess. Thanks for joining, fellow Atlanta vloggers. So great to see you in the chat.
Howdy.
And Francisco, thank you for joining, and thank you for joining the live stream on Saturday. For those that just joined, we're just recapping Madison and my trip to Dollywood the last weekend for pass holder preview and then opening days on the weekend. So one of the things that I found interesting was that the opening day on Saturday was less crowded than the pass holder preview day, which to me, I was expecting it to be as crowded. But I learned on the live stream, and somebody else commented, and I agree with it. It was a lot less crowded, so I found that interesting. I will say one of the disadvantages of going to pass holder preview day is that they're training a lot of people, since that's the actual first day they have paying customers, albeit pass holders. So I think you do have to be extra patient that first day while everybody's learning their job.
You found that in the restaurant, right? Because they were short-staffed.
Yeah, they were a little bit short-staffed in the smokehouse, and it just, you had to be patient. They were learning their job, but it's worth it. Like I said, they probably need to turn on mobile ordering, which I'm sure they're working on. They have an app. It's on the phone, and there's a lot of things you can do in the app. You just can't do mobile ordering yet, but I'm sure they're working on it.
And these guys did a couple things that you hadn't done before. First of all, you have a annual pass now. Well, you got it in December, and Madison has one now, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that annual pass, what benefits does it give you?
It basically gives you free parking, which is $20 normally. So we went 3 days, so that was obviously $60 savings, and 20% off the food and 20% off the merch. So it's right around the $35 difference between the regular season pass and the gold season pass. But the more you're going to buy in park, the better discount you get and the better savings it is. So I went from just having a ticket to having a pass to having a gold season pass. So it's worth it if you're going to go more than a couple times. But I think Kris is right. Dollywood's highly underrated. And now with Lightning Rod and the Wild Eagle, the other coaster that they've recently built, they have a decent amount of coasters, they have food, and they have some great entertainment. Madison and I, we've seen a lot of the outdoor shows. We've chosen not to go back to the indoor shows yet, but all of Dollywood's entertainment is top notch, in my opinion. Just our dogs running around at our feet. If you see us looking down at our feet, it's because she's running around licking our feet in her hands. So,
and then the other thing you did, so you did two other things. You got that. What's the time saver pass?
Oh yeah, I did get that. So their fast pass is called Time Saver. So I invested in that for Madison and I. It was $44, and you can ride 8 rides you can use it 8 times. If you want to ride lightning rod 8 times, you can do that. You can use it 8 times total in a day. And then unlimited time saver per day is 59. So it's 44 for 8 or 59 for unlimited. And it's not counting your 20% discount if you have a gold season pass. We actually didn't use it as much as I thought we would on Friday. We used about half of them because we ran out of time between running back to see if lightning rod was running and then the long wait for food. I think I used 5 and Maddie, you maybe used 3 of the 8. So 3, 4. Okay.
But if you hadn't done either the restaurant or the museum, you would have used it. And Tom, yes, $44 each for their time saver. And there is an unlimited one too that was $50 something, right?
Yeah, 50, 59. Yeah. I would check their website for the ticket prices, and we could pull it up here as we talk. But it's their tickets are pretty reasonably priced, in my opinion, especially if you compare to Disney. Now, compared to Six Flags or maybe like a Wild Adventure Park here in Georgia, probably similarly priced, maybe a tad higher, but it's all about the value, how much you're going to eat in the park, how much merch you're going to get. We're generally not a family that loads up too much on the merch. I will say now that we've been vlogging, we try to buy a little bit more merch in the suites so we kind of have some intelligent viewpoints on how it tastes and what the merch is like. But if you're somebody that loads up on big meals in the parks and a lot of merch, I think the season pass makes a lot of sense.
And you could see here, I'm just showing what their ticket prices are. 1 day, $79, 2 days, $99. And they do have tickets because they have a water park. The water park isn't open yet, but you can do park to park tickets where you do the water park 1 day and the other park the next.
Yeah. So let's see here. We're showing the tickets up. I know, Tom, thank you. Yeah, you can't tell we're low on the merch. We all have specific Dollywood cups. Let's see what else we want to cover. Who has questions in the chat? What all you want to know about Dollywood that we haven't answered? I'll just talk about lightning rod real quick. So for those that joined late, Friday was pass holder preview. It was up and down. Maddie and I went first thing down. We went back later with our time saver, waited a few minutes, and I don't think it was running, kind of gave up. Saturday it was down, gave up. And then Sunday, first thing, waited in a line almost 2 hours. We did not have the time saver and rode it, and it was awesome. You can't appreciate the speed just by watching it. You have to get on it. So what would you say about lightning rod, Miss Thrill Seeker?
I was a little skeptical because it used to be wooden. Now it's like a hybrid, like Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags over Georgia. And I am not one for wooden roller coasters. I do not have a great experience with the one at Six Flags over Georgia. So I was a little scared to go on it, but it was definitely worth it. And it was like really smooth and it was really fun.
And it's been lightning rod over the years. It's never up when we've gone to the park. Ever. It was always broken down. Over the years, I'm talking years and years and years, it's kind of the joke. Every time you go, there's always a sign up saying it wasn't working for the day. So the fact you guys finally got on it, they were so excited.
It's been redone. Yes,
right?
It has been retracked. I've seen different facts on the retracking of it. Maybe it's 50%, 90%, 100%. They've replaced a lot of the track. So I'm hopeful, and they're hopeful that it's going to be up most of the year. So it's definitely their e-ticket ride for those old schoolers. So I would, that's one. I think Wild Eagle in the back is awesome. Tennessee Tornado is good too.
And, Bloomin' Cheese, you bring up a good point as doing a car trip. And if you're going to go to Dollywood multiple days, I think one of Dave's tips was going to be, if you're going to go more than once in a year, or if you're going to go multiple days, really consider to have someone to get that season pass and potentially the gold ones that you can get the savings. Like they saved on everything, even the candy, right? That you buy, like everything in that park, the merchandise, the quick service, the meals, 20%, and then the parking's covered. And with other season passes, annual passes, you guys know that's not the case. Like at Disney, I had an annual pass for a year and it only covered 10% on certain full service dining. You didn't get anything with quick service for Disney World. So you got some on merch, but you know, there's a lot to be said for that, figuring out. And I see Danny wrote about Madison is not a fan of the wooden roller coasters because the Great American Scream Machine gave her a migraine the first time she rode it, and so she's not a fan, right?
But that's what I grew up. I grew
love
up on it too, and I love the wooden roller coasters. And I'm hoping to get Madison on the Beast in Kings Island this summer. So we're trying to make that happen. That's my roller coaster that I grew up on, which I've mentioned multiple times in my vlog, so much that Kris has told me to stop mentioning it, but I did get to mention it. But yeah, I love the wooden roller coasters.
What's your home park, Dave? Where did you grow up?
Kings Island, yes. There you go, Tom. You knew I had to work that in.
Yes.
Let's see, what else do we want to mention? Let's see, we talked about food. We talked about this lightning rod.
What was it like getting in the park? Like, what are their screenings and everything right now?
It's a good question. We arrived Pass Holder Preview Day with the meat of the crowd. We got there 10, 15 minutes after it opened. So all the turnstiles were open to park. Parking was quick, and they did a temperature check, and they gave you a plastic band or a paper band once they did the temperature check. Either if you got on the tram or before you got on the tram, or if you walked right before you got to the gate. But since we had the passes printed out, we walked right to the ticket gate. That's another tip. When you first get a pass or a ticket, you can use your paper ticket to get in. You don't have to go to the ticket booth. You can kind of go back and get a plastic one later, which I've done both times for our passes. So I wouldn't wait in that first ticket line to make your paper pass a plastic one. I would just wait and go back later in the day. Yes, we rode Blazing Fury. Easy for me to say. Classic old coaster, man. It's that one's different. It's just much different than anything else I've ridden. Wouldn't you say, Maddie? Small world, sort of, slowly with a bunch of things to look at, and then it picks up speed like a real roller coaster. But it is an old in-house roller coaster.
Mm. Classic, right?
Yes. Hi, Theme Park Vision. Thanks for the question. Yeah, it's a classic. We rode that. I want to say we rode over the last 2 or 3 days. We also got on the drop tower in the rain. So I'm not a big fan of the drop towers. Madison is. So she's got me on the arachnophobia here at Six Flags. We've done the one here at Dollywood now twice. Which other ones have we done? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the drop towers, but Madison is, so that's the price of admission when I take my daughter to the theme parks. But it was raining hard when we got up there this time. The only rain we saw was late Friday. The last hour and a half the park was open. It was cool the rest of the days, but you do want to check the weather for those going to Dollywood. It does rain quite often in the spring, so definitely check the weather, but I wouldn't let that stop you. Just bring a good umbrella or a good rain shawl, poncho, whatever you want to call it. But do plan on some rain in the spring in Dollywood. It's notorious there. It's up against the mountains, and they do get a fair amount of rain in the spring, especially.
Monarch Moments. I love the drop rides.
This one is 400 feet in the air, I believe. I looked it up versus Arachnophobia versus a couple other. There's a couple, like the one in Busch Gardens in Tampa, I think is 500 foot. This one is, I want to say 400 foot. Somebody Google it and let me know. That should be close though, because I wondered, how it ranked with Arachnophobia and what the tallest one was. But that's plenty tall for me. I'll say that. And
Dollywood's requiring masks, right?
They are requiring masks.
Like Six Flags Over Georgia is too.
They are requiring masks. They're really not enforcing it, to be honest with you all. So, it's the same rules they had last year. I anticipate having those rules throughout this season. So, you have to bring a mask. Once you get in there, I saw a lot of people not wearing them. but we wore them except for our picture and our thumbnail, which they do let you take the mask off for the picture. So we did take the mask off for that. Otherwise, we had it on the whole time. So, that just comes with the theme park territory this year.
And last year.
And last year, yeah.
I appreciate the mask rules.
Honestly, it's a lot easier to wear the mask when it's like 60, 55, 60 degrees like it was last weekend. So it's not hard to breathe in. It's not really hot. It actually keeps your face kind of warm in the cool weather. So Falcon's Fury is the best, 335 feet. Okay. I knew somebody would be on it in the chat, probably Tom.
He loves Dollywood at Christmas.
Yes. Do we want to get to other theme park news, or do we want to talk some more about Dollywood?
So I did want to ask you guys, you did a couple things around Pigeon Forge. Like, how did you find Pigeon Forge? And the reason I'm asking these questions is I didn't go and my son didn't go. We stayed here and we did some other things. So these two went on a father-daughter trip. And
you can answer. Yeah.
We went to the best attraction there, which was the Jurassic Jungle boat ride. We get there and not a lot of people were wearing masks. We waited to try to get a boat to ourselves, but that didn't happen. So we sat in the front row. And then we rode that.
Yes. So the vlog will be out in the morning. I would watch the vlog and not spend the $16, to be totally honest with you all.
be glad they spent it.
It's a Jurassic Jungle boat ride. It is a dark ride, and it's been in Pigeon Forge for years. We've seen other vloggers do it. Some of our favorite vloggers do it. So we're like, okay, we didn't want to spend all 24 hours, 3 days in Dollywood. We want to get a different couple of vlogs in. So we decided, I let Madison pick, and then we went to the Jurassic Jungle boat ride. And it's about a 10-minute dark ride with animatronic dinosaurs in it. I think the ride was fine. It was in a boat, kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, except with dinosaurs. It was just a little bit overpriced. It was $16 a person, but they did let us film in there. So would I pay $16 if I wasn't a vlogger? Probably not.
So Monarch moments. Yes, the rules of screaming. So when Disney reopened and they actually had said, don't scream while you're on the roller coasters, that was a thing. I think that's kind of gone by the wayside some. I mean, you keep your mask on. So I'm sure it'll be the same at some point. I guess don't go on any scary ones. Of course, Six Flags Magic Mountain is opening in like 2 weeks, right? They said that. Boom, April 1st. Like Disney's like, we need 6 weeks to train our people. And Magic Mountain's like, hold our beer. We're just going to open. So they're opening, and I would imagine you'd scream pretty good on their roller coasters.
Yeah, I think Danny or Jess asked the question about the signs. They do have the signs up, just like Six Flags. They just don't enforce it too much in there. You're there to kind of self-police. Obviously, when you're sitting there eating, you can have your mask off, or when you're drinking at the restaurant, you can have your mask off. Madison and we ate outside on the porch at the end. I waited for that table on purpose, mainly because it was quieter, but also it was on the end of the large porch there at Miss Lillian. So we were away from people, and it's just more comfortable to take our mask off there. But they had signs up. They just didn't, it was kind of a self-policing, if you will.
So probably, Danny, similar to Six Flags, that you see people wearing their mask, here.
Oh,
we have seen last year there were people that were policing, especially holiday in the park and Halloween. People were going around telling people to put on masks, but Danny's kind of mentioning here about they still had, when we went in opening, they still had some. We didn't see anybody walking with it, the signs like before, but you were supposed to wear the masks. So.
Yeah. So Amy joined too. Amy had a question from AJC Magic TV. Welcome in. Do we live close to Dollywood? Not super close. No, Atlanta's 4 hours south of Dollywood. So I do know Atlanta's south of Dollywood. I think in the vlog, I got a little nervous when I talked to the cast member of past preview day. She's like, "Where did you drive from?" I'm like, "We came up or down from Atlanta." She's like, "Oh, okay, that's a long drive." But no, we live south of Dollywood, so it's about 4 hours anywhere you go by the speed limit. I know people make it quicker than that, but even if you do you can go to Chattanooga to Knoxville and down to Pigeon Forge, or you can, from our house, we cut up by the mountains, around the mountains, and save a little bit of time, get sped out between Chattanooga and Knoxville, and then we go down over the Sevierville. So it is a drive, and depending how close you live, that's a consideration on your spend for the hotel room, right? If you're just going to spend the night and drive back, or you're going to spend 2 days. Christmas time, we went and we actually just spent one night, so it was a quick trip. We went on a Sunday of Smoky Mountain Christmas and drove back. So this time we were able to go for the whole weekend, fortunately.
And then your drive from Atlanta, it depends if you want to go up through the Smoky Mountains or if you want to go up the interstate and kind of in. So there's 2 different drives. One's more scenic and takes a little longer, and one's more direct and faster. So just kind of which way you want to go.
Let's see here. I don't know. I think that's a secret, Danny and Jess. You'll have to stay tuned to our channel. Stay tuned. I think we have a good variety. It's not all theme parks on our channel, but there are some different parks as they come open over the next couple months. We'll probably see you at one of these park openings. On our channel, we covered Six Flags, as you know. We've seen you guys there and girls. And Universal and Dollywood.
But we more do we do theme parks. We do Georgia, so we're kind of doing a geographic area, and then when we go on family trips for things too. So we do theme parks, but we do other things. So we're showing some of the stuff in the Atlanta area with blooms and flowers and things like that. When you think of Atlanta, there's a few things you like. When I moved here, and azaleas and the daffodils and the tulips and all things like that they're gorgeous here at this time of year. Just like as you move further north up the United States, and it starts blooming a little bit later in the season. So it's such a pretty area in the spring. So we're going to be showing you guys some of that.
Theme Park Vision asked if we're going to the Flower and Food Fest, which starts April 23rd at Dollywood. I do think we'll get up to Tennessee for that. I'm not sure which day, or we'll be there for opening weekend. But I would like to go and see that festival. I've not been for that one yet. Let's see, what else?
Like, what was your favorite thing this weekend that you did?
Oh, there's one thing Madison didn't even mention.
I didn't.
No, you said in the vlog, what was your favorite thing we did?
Oh, my favorite thing was the mountain coaster, because you could really go fast if you wanted to, and I didn't use my brake as much as I probably should have. I at one point caught up to my dad, who was like in front of me, so I slowed down a little.
I wasn't going that slow.
You guys did Rocky Top mountain coasters in Pigeon Forge, right?
Yeah, it's
in future trips we'll probably do, once things open up a little bit, we'll probably do some Gatlinburg coasters because there's so many.
Yeah, you can check that up, vlog out on our channel too. There's it's a mountain coaster. I don't know if you all have been on these mountain coasters. They've seemed to sprung up everywhere of late. I know Two Real Geeks have been to one here in Helen, Georgia.
Yeah, they went to one at Christmas.
Yeah, but we went to this one. It was by Dollywood, so it was on the way, and we actually stopped by Saturday, kind of later around dinner time. There's a big line, so then we went back Sunday morning, and those things go really fast. But I wasn't like Carl from Up going super slow. I didn't have the brake jammed down, so I was crawling. It was going at least kind of fast to me, but.
Bloom and Cheesa, Seattle.
Nice.
Wow.
It's early out there.
Yes.
Thanks for joining Bloom and Cheese. Thanks everybody for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
Give us a big thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. Consider subscribing to our channel. We post videos weekly. We're doing live streams every other Thursday, covering, like I said, local parks, Six Flags, Dollywood, Universal. We do have tickets to Halloween Horror Nights. So we had tickets last year that obviously didn't happen. So we got in on the BOGO, buy one, get one free. Kris is a huge Halloween Horror Night fan. So looking forward to that. We have our Universal Hotel booked and need to get on some of the other bookings. But definitely going back to Universal. We go to Disney World too. We were at Disney World last Labor Day. So we have vlogs up from all 4 parks down there. We may try to get over for a Halloween party there if they have them this year. So, and then some things going on in the summer, some different parks we haven't been to. So stay tuned for that.
And we're excited.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
And, we cover things from a family perspective. We save up. I'd seen some comments like, wow, that's really expensive or that sort of stuff. And, we save up for these things, not unlike you guys. So, and we're trying to share our experiences and where we try to save money and passes we're buying. Like you also did photo pass this time too with Dollywood. We hadn't invested in that.
Yeah. And so, we just don't go into the parks and say, oh, let's just get everything. And we're not on the an unlimited budget here. I do think things through as far as our family budget and all these passes, because they do get expensive when you're talking Six Flags and Dollywood and Disney Universal. And
we got 4 of us that were
4 of us,
and food is not cheap. And
food, hotels, especially.
Yeah.
And then, just everything to travel as a family. You all know that, but it's a thought process, like, the photo pass thing. That's a nice, do we get the photo pass, and do you want it for the year, or do you want it for the day, and do you want them digitally? So it's a big decision for us. All these extras at the parks, it's something we think through, and then we try to tell you in the vlogs what we did and what we didn't do, and put the prices in the vlogs. What the
cost is, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know as a family, when I'm watching these channels, other channels, I'm always thinking, well, what did that cost? Or they had a big, beautiful lunch somewhere in Disney Springs. I'm like, how much was that? And a lot of times the vloggers don't show you the price. We do try to show you the price and everything. Not every single time, but there are times we just eat the food and I forget the vlog, to be honest. But we do try to show you the prices.
Yeah. And I see, Tom, you're talking about Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. We were talking, I don't know if we're going to make it for the season. Dave was talking about it. We do have some plans of some different places that we're going to go as things open up, and we can't wait. It's like everything's been on hold for so long. So
yeah. And so check out Vacationers podcast, Theme Parks and More, their YouTube and their podcast, which they have been nice enough to have us a guest on there many times.
Yes.
Kris has been on there.
I'm a huge fan of the Vacationers, Theme Parks and More podcast. So Tom and Joanna. And so they have at the end of their podcast, always, when you listen to it, it's like, hey, if you want to come on. So one day I just wrote them. I'm like, I'd like to talk to you guys. And then they invited us on. It was really nice. So we've been kind of talking for several months now, probably almost a year coming up. So very much have enjoyed them.
See Amy's question about have we stayed at the resort? So we had not stayed at the Dreammore Resort. It's across the street.
So
it's on the list.
I've looked. And probably we should do a video on this sometime when we price things. And I know that there were specials going on for Dreammore off season. So the specials ended before they opened. And I was looking at the cost of the rooms. And these guys, they stayed at a Hampton Inn. I mean, that's where they stayed. So at some point we'll probably go. Another hotel in Pigeon Forge, one of our favorite places is the Inn at Christmas Place. Like, if you haven't stayed, now it's pricey. When we did it, it was probably 11 years ago when we first stayed there, right? Like, I think the price has gone up some, but oh my gosh, it's like Christmas 24/7 at this hotel. And across the street, they have a Christmas shop, but the hotel is decorated so nicely. It's really nice. And they have, once things get more back to normal, they have Santa Claus that comes and sings with the kids on Saturday nights. And they had breakfast and things like that. Really, really love that hotel. Very, very unique. But the last several times we've gone, I took Madison for a girls' trip several years ago when you were younger. We went for like a long weekend. We stayed at a Hampton Inn, and I think you guys have stayed there in the last couple times. So we do want to do, Tom's saying I have a timeshare opportunity for you. On some of his podcasts, he's talked about how when he went to Orlando and other places, sometimes he sits in a timeshare presentation to get some stuff cheaper. It's kind of, I can't bring myself to do that, but And so we're always pricing things. So at some point we'll stay at Dreammore. One of Madison's friends stayed at Dreammore over the summer. Remember your friend? He went with his family and stayed. Your friend Henry. Yeah. So and he loved it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks wonderful. We just haven't done it yet.
It was $300 for a room when I looked, so we stayed at the Hampton Inn.
I should have said. Guess what? It was $300. So
somebody had
you could buy tickets for the whole family, or you can stay one night in the hotel room, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it's a very nice hotel. We'll splurge eventually for it, but no, we haven't stayed there yet.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mountain coaster, we talked about that. We talked about the boat ride. We talked about Dollywood.
Now, you guys didn't eat in anywhere, did you? Like, where's your favorite place to eat in Pigeon Forge?
Oh, the old mill. Oh, man. Handmade biscuits and gravy. My dad used to make them when I was a kid on Sunday mornings. Handmade biscuits. It's kind of a lost art, buttermilk biscuits. And I can't do it, and I should have learned. But the old mill right there on the main drag at Pigeon Forge, I forget what stoplight it is, but that place is like the bomb if you're looking for like sausage gravy and the handmade biscuits. And they have other,
country breakfast,
ham,
country
pancakes,
lunch,
the whole.
And we just happened to find it like probably 11 years ago. We went, and so we've gone back almost every time, but you didn't.
We didn't eat in anywhere.
Yeah.
Even for Hampton Inn, I went down and got Madison's breakfast each morning and brought it up to the room. So just a precaution, different things for different people. I'm not saying it was right or wrong. There were a lot of people eating out. We just chose not to do it. Not quite yet anyway. Let's see.
The statue.
Oh, yeah. So we ended the vlog somewhere different outside the park. We ended the vlog at the Dollywood statue in the middle of Sevierville at the courthouse. We've seen a lot of vloggers had ended it there, had vlogged about that statue. It's not too far out of the way. Actually, it's just one stoplight down from where you go in and out toward Dollywood. So I thought that'd be a good place to end it. I want to see the statue. I'd never seen it. They erected it in the mid-'80s. And I know there was a lot of talk of the Tennessee state legislature putting another statue up for her, Dolly, and she just declined at this point. But I wanted to see the statue. It's kind of a young Dolly. It's a nice one of her with a guitar and a butterfly. And I thought it was good for the video, obviously. And I got to see it.
And they have other statues in the city, right? Because like you've gone there for work, and they have like women's suffrage type statues, women's voting.
That's in Knoxville, but yeah,
Knoxville.
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the Pigeon Forge trip. It was crowded there for the weekend. The weather wasn't really heating up. We didn't go to Gatlinburg. On a normal trip, I probably would have drove up the 2-lane highway to Gatlinburg. We just decided not to do things there yet. Not for lack of wanting to. There's a lot of stuff we've been to, we haven't vlogged, or stuff I haven't been to that I want to vlog. Especially, I want to go see the car museum there. That seems pretty cool next to Ripley's. I've seen a couple of vloggers in there. I'd like to see some of those cars. But hopefully in the summer, as things, get I don't know, back to normal, but nearer normal anyway, we're going to do more things. I also wanted to go up. There's 2 or 3 places up the mountain in Gatlinburg, Anarchista, and then the Skybridge place. Still want to get up to there and do some vlogs up there.
We've been to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge many times with the Boy Scouts. I slept with the kids in the shark tube. Remember that in the Ripley's aquarium?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that or no?
I sort of remember that.
You sort of remember that? Okay. So this is what we did. We all went. Dave stayed in a hotel room. This is years ago, so he could get sleep, and I didn't sleep much in the shark tube in the Ripley's aquarium. It was amazing.
The aquarium of the Smokies?
Yes.
Yes.
Love it. We go to a lot of aquariums and zoos. That's kind of Dean's passion. So matter of fact, we went to the Zoo Atlanta, Dean and I, while you guys were doing your stuff, and we saw some other things in Atlanta. And we haven't done, you guys didn't go to Gatlinburg, also somewhat because of mask compliance, and a lot of people walking around outside don't have masks on everywhere. And so that's kind of, they avoided the area for right now. So we're dying to do it though, and go back there, definitely. And we've done like all the Ripley's Aquarium, we ate at Dick's Last Resort. That's a great place. If you guys know about Dick's Last Resort, first time we ate at it was in Boston, like a million years ago. You remember that? You put hats on, they write sayings, and they treat you bad. You guys loved that when you were younger. Probably would still love that.
I think Two Real Geeks is asking about Zoo Atlanta. I think the answer is how much you into the animals. Our son is really into the animals. That's why we've been to so many aquariums. I'll be honest, I love the first 5 aquariums we went to, but now we've been to, I've lost count. The same thing with the zoo. So that's his passion. So we go to the zoo
and the aquariums.
And the aquariums, you know.
And I will say, we went, I want to say November of last year, we have a membership to it just for Dean and I to go. And they changed their mask compliance rules. It was 10 and up, and now it's 2 and up. I was really happy. So they're requiring more people to wear masks. If you were inside the reptile house, you had to put it on, but outside you didn't. But I think so. I guess, Danny, if you guys are going to go to the zoo probably more than twice, it's worth it throughout the year to get the pass. You know, what is it? 3-ish, 4 hours. You can get through the whole zoo.
Hi, our show, our story. Welcome in. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. Or coming in. Welcome. Yeah. By the way, it could be Jess in the chat, and I say that not
That's
for Two
true,
Real Geeks.
Because I sometimes in a Monarch Moments chat, and they think it's Dave. I should tell you guys that. A lot of times they're like, "Hey, Dave," and I'm like, "Actually, it's me," but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll type something, and he's like, "They think it's me."
Yeah, so. It's not always me in the chat. Other channels always think it's me. That's the benefit
of, I should probably put dash whatever. I did that on Twitter because it's Adventures by D, but I put in the name dash Kris so people know I'm actually the one doing the Twitter.
Yeah.
So the tweets. Atlanta does have it's a smaller zoo, but if you have kids, it's actually ideal because you can get them through with their stroller. I used to go all the time when the kids were little, and they have pandas. I mean, there's only 4 zoos in the U.S. that have pandas, so like bonus, and they have a really great program. But yeah, it's a smaller zoo.
So Carowinds, Dibs Ribs ask about Carowinds. Is this somebody that you know? Apparently, do you want to answer this question?
Yeah, we haven't been, but
we haven't been. It's on the list. I thought I was going to get over there for the holiday thing, and not all the rides are open. I do want to go over there, Madison. I'm sure you want to ride Fury. I think that's their big roller coaster over there. Somebody put in the chat. I don't know Carowinds that well. It's about a 4 or 5 hour drive, no farther than Dollywood.
We're talking about it. It opens when?
May 23rd, I believe.
Something like that, yeah. So it opens right before Memorial Day. So it is a talk. We're talking because we think if we go to Carowinds, we're going to have to spend the night. So that's what we're trying to figure out too. And we got, figuring out the dog, and we have cats and that sort of stuff. So, and maybe the vacationers can meet us there. Maybe. I've heard there. Yes, maybe. Tom. I've heard you talk about the world's greatest funnel cake. So yes, I must see this cake. I'm going to compare it to Dolly cinnamon bread. That's a high bar. And we should say vacationers, they're in Virginia. So yes, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg is their home park. So it's kind of cool to always look at their videos because it's so different from, what we're seeing down here. Love Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, so pretty. That whole area. Yes, I think it's Fury 325. Yeah. I mean, we'd love to get to all the parks this summer. We're not going to be able to have the time or the funds to go to every single one, but we'll do some different ones. We have some teed up. We're excited here. We have some family members at different part of the countries that have big birthdays, so maybe we're trying to work in some theme park side trips this summer. Are you kidding me? We're excited to even talk about being able to see family. So we haven't for, over a year now. So as, vaccines and stuff happen, we're very excited about that we're going to be able to hopefully see some people we haven't seen in a long time. Yes. Let's see. Let's talk about other theme park news since we covered Dollywood. Oh, today is a big day in Disneyland World. Yes, I believe the Touch of Disney opened in DCA. So, Francisco, Monarch Moments. What's going on out there? What's the vibe on California for Touch of Disney? Are people excited about it? Francisco, if you're still in the chat,
I know you had a ticket for it. I didn't know. I think it's in April, you said. But I know people are very excited. I saw some vloggers there live in DCA walking around and showing the park. I don't think the rides are open yet, but on top of that, and then we had the news a couple of days ago that Disneyland's got an official day of April 30th to open.
Yes.
So very exciting for the West Coasters and folks going out to Disneyland. I can't believe it's been closed. Can't believe it's been closed over a year now, Disneyland. That's unbelievable to me. But good news, it's going to be reopening soon.
We did just get I got a text that we got a request to have our dog have a cameo. So we'll see here before we close it out. So that's what we're laughing about. Sorry, I just saw that. So
I was talking about Disneyland opening, Touch of Disney, and then opening.
I mean, how exciting to go from everything being shut to having in just 2 or 3 months everything open, of course, with restrictions, right? And making sure things are safe and people are safe. And I have to respect Disney. They just seem to do it right and try to keep people safe and try to make sure compliance is strong with masks and distancing and lines and how they're doing food. And hopefully Monarch Moments, you guys are able to get there at some point, when you can. And Francisco had shared he's going to be there for a Touch of Disney. Now we were wondering if you bought tickets for Touch of Disney, are you excited or are you a little chapped that in just a month the park is actually open too? Or does it not matter? You're excited to do both. I was kind of curious about that for everyone that had ponied up $75 to get in DCA, right? And now in another month. And I don't know if it's just Disneyland and DCA's opening. I actually haven't read if it's both or just Disneyland.
I thought it was both. Maybe somebody can correct us in the chat. Monarch Moments, you should check out their channel. They're out of California. They live stream quite a bit. And they have some good vlogs too. So I don't know if I officially said that, but they were on our live stream, nice enough to be on our live stream 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. I forget which one they were on, but check out the whole gang at Michelle Monarch Moments. And Karki, you can put a link to their channel if you can in the chat.
Yeah, they live stream 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Two Real Geeks also live streams quite often.
Yeah, just check out Danny and Jess's channel too. They're local to us here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
and they're
cover. Great. They're a lot of fun.
Yes,
very nice.
Yes. What are they saying? So Danny's saying Disneyland's gonna be nuts. Yeah, I know. It's they should just have one gate for the crowd, and then every vlogger West Coast known to mankind come to this gate.
Camera attached to their bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Be floating through the gates on a high as they come under that train station.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, you last went to Disneyland in 2019?
2019,
yeah. He was out there for work, and we all went as a family in 2018, and we've been twice as a family and loved it. I had never been prior to going when you guys were little, Disneyland. I grew up in Florida, so I've been to Disney World more times than I can count, right?
Yeah.
Like, so many. I remember when it was just the Magic Kingdom, and I remember when they added Epcot. And as a kid, it's kind of funny. I always hear everyone speak so fondly of the original Epcot. I can tell you 100%, I do not have as fond memories. As a young kid, all there was like 360 movies in Epcot, and I was dying, and there was nowhere to sit at the floor. So they didn't have the rides they have now, right? Like those have been built quite a bit. So it's always funny when I hear people say, oh, I miss when Epcot opened in the 80s. And I'm like, oh man, it wasn't, for a kid, it wasn't all that fun. So.
Let's see here. 2 Real Geeks I'm putting there up there. What else are we talking about? Oh, have you all seen Super Nintendo World at Universal Japan? That's unbelievable. That just recently officially opened, but there's some videos out there. Officially opened today or yesterday, and there's a couple really good videos the vloggers did in February. I guess maybe it's a good night, Amy, or bye. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Super Nintendo World, that looks awesome. I mean, talk about a themed land. It is unbelievable. The attention to detail, and then they have slap bracelets where you can interact and do like 1-ups and power-ups and coins, just like in Mario.
Super Mario awesome Brothers. Looking. Yeah. I can only hope Epic Universe at Universal, when they're building that the rumor is they're putting in a land, a Mario land, and Nintendo. I can't even imagine what that would be like. It was amazing to watch, and as much as you guys and your brother has played Nintendo, and I mean, I know you played also a Nintendo 64, Dave. It's just to see that come to life, so super cute. I kept watching the videos saying, this is like Harry Potter land in a way. It's very interactive, and there's things to do other than ride rides. I mean, I probably shouldn't call it Harry Potter land because I know there's 2 themed lands, but tons of fun.
Let's see. Thank you, Karki, for posting the links there. And there's Danny and Jess's channel too. Appreciate Karki. Thank you for doing that. Awesome mod. As usual. I thought there was something else here. Disneyland. So Knott's is opening in May. I saw on the vlogs on their page out there. Knott's Berry Farm out in California. So I have been there once a long time ago.
I have never been to Knott's.
It looks like, I keep calling it a Dollywood of the West, and I'm not, that I take that's a compliment for me. But it's got a, to me, when I see the vlogs, and it was too little to remember it now, but it's got that same Dollywood vibe to me. I don't know if Monarch would agree with me. I don't think they've been to Dollywood, but it seemed like a fun, interesting park with a lot of things to do out there.
I know the Vacationers Tom, he went out there a couple of years ago. So he was saying the front of the park's really nice, and then the back of the park looks different than what you'd expect. Yeah. But I'd love to go to their Western town and talk to, who's the guy that's behind in the...
I think he's the mayor. Oh, you mean Sad-Eyed Jim, I think?
Yeah, Sad-Eyed Jim or Joe or whatever, and you can talk to him. That looks so fun. Yeah.
Let's see here. So our next stream, before I forget, in a couple of weeks, we are going to talk everything Six Flags over Georgia. So we've been once already for opening day. You can check out that vlog on our channel, and I'm sure we'll be going back, if not before then, during spring break. When is Mindbender going to open? Two Real Geeks? That's the real question. And then we'll be checking out. We didn't get to all the food on opening day. We tried to order all the food.
Oh man, I have a vlog on that. I covered. I did a. Who does a video on mobile ordering? Well, I did after the fact, because we had an interesting time trying to mobile order. I love the fact Six Flags has it. It just didn't go well for us. So I kind of share that. Hopefully their app gets updated a little bit. But I love the idea of it, and that you can mobile order. So that was fun, and they had pretty good food.
Yeah, we did not. I did not get on Goliath opening day, so I'm looking forward to riding it this season when we go back out. So stay tuned for the. We'll talk everything Six Flags. Go really in detail in a couple of weeks. Talk about what's new. Talk about the food some more. Talk about mobile ordering and take questions. Hershey is here. I think he's gonna get in the video.
There you go for the requester.
Yeah, Hershey's
got a request.
Kind of our chocolate lab, kind of a mutt, and he's really Madison's dog. So he likes to come on. He has certain trigger words. So when you say HELLO on conference calls or on video calls, he loves to bark at the top of his lungs. So.
Yes. Yes, he does. But
yeah, I don't know when Mindbender is going to open either, Danny. It'd be nice if it was soon. I did write it a long time ago, but I'd love to see how it's if it's smooth or if it's rougher. I'm gonna hope it's smoother, right?
And for you guys that don't know, Mindbender is a very old, probably one of their original coasters. That it does have a loop. You go upside down on the lap bar, and they're theming it to the Riddler, right?
Jody was Riddler.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see. That's how much I know. I did ride it one time with you, though. I will say that when you were younger, and we've watched over the year as the track's been separated and they're rebuilding it. And Six Flags Over Georgia is really interesting because a lot of the roller coasters go into the parking lot, so you can kind of see the back end, or a lot of the roller coasters outside. So it's pretty cool to see that as you're walking in.
Dad Builds asked, did you guys ever get to ride the Fire Chaser the other day, Dollywood? Yes, we did. We did ride it. On Pass Holder Preview Day, we actually went towards the back of the park, and you can't do your camera or phone on the ride, so we had to put everything in a locker. So we didn't see it on video, but we got to ride the Tennessee Tornado, fire chaser. We eventually rode lightning rod, and appreciate you joining on a live stream Saturday, Dad Builds. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I think that you're local to Dollywood, if I remember correctly from that stream. So thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoyed that. We tried to show Dollywood live, and we had a great Miss Lillian's so unique. I love her to death, even if she didn't do our jingles. But she's a treat and unique to Dollywood.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah, Madison's not into Miss Lillian as much as I enjoy her, but she's unique to Dollywood, and she's. I sat at that smokehouse for hours to eat, and she is on it. The amount of energy, and each person has a phone and wants to do something special, and she delivers. So she's great. She's great for Dollywood, I think.
I'm curious how she can sing nonstop, like that for hours and hours and every day to sing nonstop. I just don't even know how she does it. Yeah. Real treat. She even has her own Facebook page.
Yeah, check her out.
Miss Lillian. Oh no, on our Facebook page we've tagged her, and she's kind of written us, so she's super nice. Yeah, and I was thrilled that you guys got to live stream. You were going to live stream on
Friday.
Yeah.
And we just kind of ran out of time between.
So busy.
It was busy, and then the longer wait for food. I just didn't want to rush it and the tech not work and it just not look good. But the one thing I did find out, unlike Six Flags, Dollywood has pretty good cell coverage. So it made it the stream went better than I had planned. I think we only lost coverage a couple times in certain parts of the park.
You were hoping at some point to be able to live stream at Six Flags. We were going to actually live stream when we were there opening day, but we were in the back of the park and there's literally no cell signal. There's no way. You can't even communicate, can't even text family members or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I wish Six Flags would fix that, or the cell carriers putting towers in. So hopefully at some point we'll be able to do that towards the front of the park. Six Flags is also really hard to live stream because they play top 40 music everywhere, like everywhere. So even to talk, forget about copyright strikes or whatever, just to be able to talk, it's pretty loud in a lot of areas. So, but we're hoping to do that to show you guys. If you haven't been, it's pretty. It's a really nice. It's hilly. It's very pretty.
Yeah. I guess one other thing before I leave Dollywood here. One thing that I think Dollywood needs, as I've been to the park now a few times, is that it's a circle park. So it's a round park to get around. It's not hub and spoke. It's not
the green screen's taking out
the green screen's taking out the center. But it's believe me, it's a circular park. It's not a hub and a spoke. So it'd be nice if they had like a cut through from the park from one side to the other, especially like when lightning rod is down. You kind of have to hang out that side of the park if you want to ride it to wait till it comes back up. And if you go to the back to Wildwood Grove, it is a little bit of a haul to get back across the park. So we would love to. One suggestion I would have is for Dollywood. Wild Eagle does kind of go through the middle of the park, and I don't know if the mountains or the topography make it impossible to have some kind of tram through the middle, but it'd be nice to have a cut through.
You're just trying to give you Hershey kisses.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks.
Hershey kisses.
Yes, Hershey's. He makes it in the vlogs somehow. Especially, I think he wants to be walked. That might be a sign. I don't know.
Yeah. Time for a walk.
Yeah, Danny, I don't know about the live streaming. There's like no signal there in the park. So,
and it's something I'm always concerned about as a parent. Like if the kids come and we bring them with friends and we send them off together, you want to be able to get in contact with them. You always say like meet up at a certain time. And with Six Flags you lose cell service in certain areas. Like I'm not a fan of that as a parent. I'm really not. It freaks me out a little bit in the park. I wish that could be fixed somehow. And of course, when you ride rides, you put your phone in the locker. You can't have it anyway, for some of the rides. So, but.
Do we want to show a little bit of the merchandise haul here?
Oh yeah. So I asked for two things when they went.
So this is a pound of taffy.
Like,
Here you can.
and they don't have the taffy machine in there anymore that pulls it.
They have it. I don't think they used it. I asked somebody about it.
Yeah, it says 1 pound to $10. You can't really
I wrote
see
that
it.
on there, but
Oh, you did.
it's pretty fresh. I'm not a
Hold
big.
on, Hershey wants to smell it first.
All right.
I've been waiting the whole time. No, don't eat it. He's like, it's not chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
And there are
Hershey.
all different like flavors of, I love taffy. Oh my goodness. And it is so like, this is how fresh it is. Of course you hope, right? Opening day. But it is so soft. You can just smush it. You see that? How many times you guys had taffy that you can't?
Rock hard.
Yeah, where it's going to pull out your fillings. This stuff is so good, and it's flavored all different flavors. My favorite thing, kind of like at the Magic Kingdom, they used to have the taffy machine. Also in the window when the candy store was across the street, and when they used to make it. But anyway, so love that. That's what I won't eat it on because I'll be.
So then you also asked for peanut brittle.
Yes.
So they come in smaller, but there's a sweet shop. I got some video. It wasn't in the last vlog. I'll try to work it into the next Chasing the Rainbows video. But they have a, as you leave Dollywood, it's not a place if you're watching your calories. They have a sweet shop, which is huge, with peanut brittle, candied fudge, candied apples. They also have an ice cream shop, and they have a bakery with that gigantic apple pie, which is in the vlog. So not a place to watch calories as you exit the park, but this is a peanut brittle. This is a bag that's about $6. It's about 6 ounces here.
Could you see them making it fresh or no?
The peanut brittle, no.
So now tell me if I'm right, if you remember. Is it Dollywood or is it at Stone Mountain they made peanut brittle fresh in front of us on the big, you remember that? And they were breaking it in pieces?
I think that was Stone Mountain here.
Was it at Stone Mountain? That was years ago, but.
So Dad builds. No, I didn't think Madison and I would make it. They have a giant apple pie. Go watch the Dollywood opening weekend vlog, and it's in one of the montages. And the pie, it's like $200, and it's the biggest pie you've ever seen. It's like in a giant crock pot skillet. But then they cut it in the slices. The whole pie is like $200. I think a slice, it was in the video, was maybe $20. But just a slice was just too big for 2 people. I didn't think we would. They have to roll me out of the park, Dad builds, if I eat the whole thing.
There's a 2-pound pizza.
I did not see the 2-pound pizza though.
I mean, Dollywood wins on food all day long from any theme park.
They do have salads in some place too. So it's not all barbecue and pies and peanut brittle. They do have salads. They have some healthy options.
Did you have any of this?
We had some vegetables at the Miss Lydian Smokehouse. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I can't eat the taffy on.
Where the heck is the 2-pound pizza?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
And there they make the kettle corn and they do the pork rinds. They're like making them, frying them right there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So awesome.
Yeah, and they also had, if you watch the live stream, I went to the glass blowing place. I don't think the guy was like wanting me to shout questions at him as he's blowing glass in a furnace. It's like 2,000 degrees. Nor did I think he really enjoyed being on camera, but I was interested to see how they make glass. I had no idea. So plus it's unique to Dollywood.
And you'd gone there at Christmas time and you could make your own ornament, but it wasn't operating, right? When you were in there. So I thought that was really cool because you could actually make your own Christmas ornament. I don't know if you'd have to do it and come back the next day or how long it takes to pick it up, but it looked really cool because you chose the colors and things like that.
Okay. See you, Daddy. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Go check out Two Real Geeks. Subscribe to their channel if you have a chance. And then Monarch Moments, welcome back, Michelle Garrett.
She must have been trying to go buy some Disneyland tickets.
That's right. You were on the site trying to get those tickets. So we just had a great time in Dollywood, and it's for us. I always say it's half the drive and half the price at Disney. Now I could be wrong on half the price, but it's from here to get to Disney South is 8 hours. So we enjoy both places. Don't get me wrong, but Dollywood has its own uniqueness to it, which I hope comes across in the video in this live stream.
I can't wait to go. So hopefully soon we will be and getting back to Tennessee and spending more time. There's so many things to do for families.
Oh,
that's right.
Yes,
it's your anniversary.
All right.
And you're spending it with us. That's so nice.
That is nice. I thought Garrett was cooking. I know you cook a lot on your streams, Michelle. You should just have Garrett cook. Don't tell him I said that, though. So thanks for joining. I think we're gonna wrap up a little bit here. We talked about first, make sure to hit that like button. Okay, helps the channel out, and hopefully you had a good time tonight. So if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. The next stream's in a couple weeks. We're gonna talk Six Flags at 8 o'clock Thursday nights. So that's our vlogging spot, is every other Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. So mark it down, hit that bell so you're notified. That way you don't have to worry about it. You'll know when we go live. And then check out the Dollywood vlogs. We have 3 from the park, and then we have the mountain coaster, and then we have the Jurassic Jungle boat ride coming out tomorrow morning. So look for that one if you like dinosaurs and dark rides.
Full ride POV. It'll save you $16.
Yes, the full ride POV. And then consider subscribing to the channel. We had people come in that were new, so I appreciate if you join new. If you like the content, consider subscribing. It's family friendly. We do at least 2 videos a week. This week we've done 3 videos already, plus the live stream. So we've cranked out the content this week. We are not full-time YouTubers. We do have other jobs, so we do this as we can, and we enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoy it too.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. Good to do as a family.
Yeah.
So this one, she's the one who started it.
Yes, Madison started the channel 2 or 3 years ago with the name and their tagline, and then we've kind of ramped it up here during quarantine, and excited to take it post-quarantine. Excited to use those words, post-quarantine. So I hope that's coming soon, sooner rather than later, as the world gets more near normal.
I know, aren't you guys all excited? I can't imagine in California. It must just be like a huge weight lifting off your shoulders to see things opening. There's hope. And I will say the last year we've got to spend a lot of family time.
Yes.
And the kids are doing good. And so I'm proud of them. When I was their age, if I'd been locked in the house with my parents for an entire year, I don't know how happy I'd be, or if I'd even want to sit on a stream with my parents. So they've both been doing, I think, really, really well. We've done a few things as a family and that sort of stuff, but we're home a ton.
So before we leave, Madison, do you want to plug one thing we just got through watching? Madison's a big superhero fan. There's something out new today.
Oh, so the Zack Snyder Justice League just came out today. I'm wearing Superman. Don't know if you can see that.
You can stand up.
There you go.
Came out today. We literally just finished watching it before the stream.
It's only 4 hours. That's it. Just a 4-hour. Madison is a huge DC fan, and she has some friends, some might be watching, that are also fans, and between DC and Marvel, but she has many favorite characters. She was very excited. And then what's coming out tomorrow on Disney Plus?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon. And she's a huge fan of WandaVision. You loved it. Every second she would ask, can I watch it? You guys want to watch it with me? Or as soon as school was done, right? You wanted to watch it. So she loves all that is an alternate universe. And watches all sorts of shows. What are these shows that your favorite shows that you're watching right now?
I just finished Supergirl, waiting for that new season to come out. I'm watching the new season of Flash that's coming out right now.
What are the other ones?
I finished Arrow, but that stopped.
And then the Doom
Patrol and Titans. Those are
and Titans. She loves all that stuff. So, and with HBO Max, we've been able to watch a lot of it here in the last several months that we hadn't seen before, or you could catch the newer things. So she keeps us on our toes with all that's hip.
It's amazing how much TV you can stream when you're cooped up in your house for a year, right? Yes. All right, Dad Bills had just started Justice League. Dad Bills, I would get a couple meals ready to go because it's a long movie.
And it's different. So I was asking Madison, from the Justice League movie that was released a few years ago, and then this new one, which do you prefer?
This one is like 10 times better. It's really good.
And it goes into all these different characters and different scenes, and yeah. So I don't want to say anything because I don't want to ruin anything. But it's interesting how two people can take kind of the same movie and turn it different, right? You know, with the same idea. So very exciting.
Okie doke. I think that covers everything. I appreciate everybody joining. Have a great evening. Thank you for joining. We're Ventures by D, and super happy to have you on the live stream. Thanks so much. And before we totally wrap up, we always say one thing at the end. So what do you want to say, group, gang, family?
And may the adventures be with you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
Ringing a bell.
so you'll be notified of our next upload. And as always, may the adventures be with you.